Shit happens. Get over it. I've never started a video like that before, but I don't know, it just kind of felt right. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just pretend that just never ever happened now, should we? And I welcome all of you back to another Rage video, where today, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time for another National Anthem reaction video, and this one is, again, we're moving to more so like Central/Eastern Europe for this one, because we are moving on to and I'll just try my best to pronounce this. Isamaa rõõm, the national anthem of Estonia. And trust me, if you thought that some of my pronunciations and associations with different nations was a little bit more vague and maybe not 100% accurate and stuff like that before, Estonia, I can absolutely say with hand on heart, I know absolutely nothing about this country. I'm so sorry. That's just me straight telling the truth. I'd much rather tell you guys the truth than, you know, live down a lie and stuff like that. I must say, however, let me just pull up the flag for 1 second. I must say, however, I actually do think the flag is pretty nice. There's not a great deal really to say about it, apart from it's got blue, black, and white. And, well, what's this? Estonian flag redesign, because Estonia is Nordic and you can't tell me otherwise. I don't even know which one I prefer, really. Do I prefer this one or do I prefer this one? That's kind of interesting to say. I think I probably prefer this one, honestly, because I quite like countries that have coats of arms on them. Like Spain, for example, was one that got a coat of arms on. Afghanistan has a coat. Well, can you describe Afghanistan as having a coat of arms? I'm not sure, because again, it's just but you get the idea. There's something almost like something that sticks out. It's something almost of tradition, if you pardon the pun right there. So, because I know so very little about Estonia, it means that when I come to do my translation video on one of my other channels, Raging Reality International, it means I'll be able to go into so much more detail, and there'll be so much more to talk about, to unpack, and I'm going to be looking forward to that. But let me tell you what I have managed to find out. isamaa is the national anthem of Estonia. It was adapted as the national anthem in 1920. The lyrics were written by Johan Voldemar Jansen, and are set to a melody composed in 1848 by Frederick Pacius, which is also that of the national anthem of Finland. So, Finland, I do apologize again. Voice is almost like giving out. So, considering the fact that Finland was almost something I was absolutely going to get into as well, I'm going to be interested. I'm very, very interested, because, and just to go into a little bit more detail, the national anthem of Finland, Mame, or Swedish for Vaterland, which was the unofficial anthem of the Grand Duchy of Finland. The only differences between the two anthems are their key signature and the repetition of the last 4 lines of each verse in the Finnish anthem. It is also considered to be an ethnic anthem for Livovian people, with the text Min isimaa. Now, the only other part like I felt like is like supposedly worth mentioning is that at my current place of work, which again I will not be issuing for the statement for obvious reasons throughout these videos, you do get people from all over the world that come to where I work. You get people from Oceania / Australasia. You get people from East Asia, from the Middle East, from Eastern Europe, Central Europe, and some parts of the USA and Canada. The only real places that I can honestly say I've never really been into the place where I work are possibly Scandinavian, more northern European countries, with the only exception being one Swedish guy who came in last night. And aside from that, certainly nothing from Estonia. I mean, we've had people from Lithuania, Romania, Albania, we've had plenty of again, like I said, a lot of Eastern, including Poland and even Luxembourg and Austria and Hungary have turned up. But again, nothing from Estonia from what I understand. But hopefully, what we'll understand is that there should be plenty to know about this, because for all those watching in Estonia, I should give some context about the fact that one of the great things I always seek out to do when it comes to videos of this description is that I want to bring out the best of every single nation. I want there something to be an overwhelming sense of positivity, as though, the idea being is that we should be learning how to work together, not fight each other, which is something I've always said about when it comes to things like language barriers. And it's a great shame that language barriers exist the way that they do, because if we could fully understand each other perfectly, then actually I reckon we would get along a lot better. Well, that at any rate is the theory. In practice, it might be a little bit more difficult than that, because some might say it would have the opposite effect. But what can you do? I prefer the idea of optimism on this, and this is kind of what these they're very optimistic, because here there is no discrimination. Everybody here is equal. Everybody has the same rights. Nobody has dominion or power over anybody else, because equality means, as it says, equality. And even though, again, there'll be many things that people will point out that are completely not equal, the very least I could do is try and call that politics, or at least some aspect of socialism on my end working into this somehow. Hey, it was just yesterday I got a comment from somebody in Poland about inviting me to a national Polish rally in the center of, it was either in Warsaw or Gdansk, for the 11th of November, which I wasn't really sure what to say to that. But we'll by the time we get, I'll talk about that story in a bit more detail when I do the translation of the Polish national anthem. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, let us all rise for the national anthem of Estonia. I must say, to be honest, that is a very captivating landscape. It is, it's a 19th century kingdom under a blanket of snow. That I'm getting tears in my eyes, because that is a beautiful, beautiful well, that shot right there is gorgeous. I like that, ladies and gentlemen. I like that a lot. You know why I liked isamaa on J.F.A as much as I do, or rather, or my fatherland, my joy and happiness, how beautiful you. I think the reason why again, outside of what looked like gorgeous, untouched monuments, almost relics of some ancient world that still very much exists, and it is always such a great reminder. If there ever comes a point in my life, ladies and gentlemen, where I do like sort of like an international tour of, let's say, the whole of Europe, I kind of want to start from England, work my way down to France, go all the way through Spain, Portugal, Luxembourg, Italy, and then sort of like do some almost like a Fibonacci sort of route. So we go from England down, and then we go like across all the way to Italy, all the way to Romania and Albania. Then we sort of like go through more inland, and then we sort of like finish off in Scandinavian Europe, and then work all the way to Scotland, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, and then probably even finish in Wales and then head back home. But the reason for this, ladies and gentlemen, is because I don't know if it's just been sort of a key thing throughout a lot of European music as far as like national anthems are concerned, but there seems to be almost like an air of like a touch of Christianity a little bit involved in this. It sounds like this was performed, you could even say this could have been performed in St. Paul's Cathedral. It has the choir. I want to find out actually who, if it lists what the choir is right now. It doesn't necessarily say about, well, if there was a choir in particular behind this, but they sound like, I couldn't even tell you if this was performed by one person or it was performed by maybe 100 people, because everything is so perfectly harmonized and there's such an authenticity behind the words. And it's not even just the words that are written down, it's the way you say them, because it takes actually a lot. Because if you're going to say things like, my fatherland, my joy and happiness, how beautiful you are, I shall not find such ever in this huge wide world, which would be so dear to me as you, my fatherland. It's a projection of love. It is a very literal projection of love for the place you come from. And it's maybe possibly one of those few anthems I've covered so far where there is an undeniable sense of just unconditional love. Because where you come from is where you've come from. It is a landmark place, in not just in space and time, but also in your space and time. It is about where you come from, and how beloved it is really just, it could be down to interpretation, but it could also be just down to the fact that Estonia could probably mean many things to many people that, unfortunately, once again, I don't have the luxury of trying to like relay, because there is so little about Estonia that I do know. But if this video has like done anything, is that it does make me want to know a little bit more. Because in the fact that it sort of shares its national anthem with Finland, which may or may not be the reason why I'm going to be following this up with the Finnish national anthem for more, not so much like a side-by-side comparison, but just to see if there was like any other sort of differences. And I do like this. I do like the fact it's like that, again, the people of Estonia, they treat their if the anthem is anything to go by, that Estonia is like a parent, a mother and a father, and it is there to look after us, to watch over us, to bring us up in the right way. It's like that's quite special. And there's something very, very, I know fine well I'm going to be looking into more into this, including probably looking into some more metal bands from Estonia, because I try to like include like almost every nation on Earth for this, but I would also need to do some extensive research as well, because it doesn't just limit it to just metal bands either. You can count that for certain. So anyway, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this reaction to my fatherland, my joy and happiness, the national anthem of Estonia. Please make sure to leave all your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below, and what you guys have felt of my fatherland, my joy and happiness for yourselves, and I cannot wait to talk with you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.
Hey champ, glad you could make it to the end of the video. I'm super glad you cared this much. If you could do me a great favor and like this video and subscribe to my guy right here. He didn't want to say it himself because he knows I say it way better. Till next time. Mwah!